There's some like banging going on. I think it's something to do with this truck. Maybe they've just emptied it all. What is that? Where's that noise coming from? Like some metal pipes or something. It's about 7 in the morning. Honestly, this country... No, I think India was the noisiest country I've ever been to, but this is a close second. I mean, Thailand was blooming noisy as well. They're all noisy. All these countries that aren't England, they're very, very noisy. I think the big difference is, I mean, there's a lot of building going on and all that sort of thing, but it's definitely cultural. Like, there's nobody who even would think to go out there and say, mate, it's a bit early in the morning, do you think you could not do that? Like, that just doesn't exist. At all. Which I think is probably a good thing overall. I think it, you know, compared to the like twitchy neighbours, health and safety, you know, plebs writing on your YouTube, oh, you need your work parents on YouTube, like this sort of mentality we have in England. It's just obviously vile, absolutely vile. So I think it is worth it to not have that, but oh, it's very noisy. It's very, very noisy. There's some blooming though, building works going on in the compound behind my flat. So I think that's what the pipes were being dropped off for earlier. So that's really peaceful and making me really happy. But I have actually had a very peaceful morning. Yes, there's been noise happening. At one point, a phone in one of the shops on the road was ringing constantly, and no one was answering it, and I could just faintly hear it. But usually I wake up with, it's probably an anxiety, but it shows up as a like, I need to do this, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. And this morning, I woke up with a real difference in that. I might just see if this guy sells scissors. Oh, can you go in? Slide. Ah, okay. Oh, he sells nail clippers. That's a good start. Oh, look, scissors?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
No es que esas son para.
No, more for
Que nada más tengo de estas.
It's probably more than I need. Quanta? Yes, I don't really need all this though. Quanta?
49.
Could you write down? Gracias. $49. Oh, okay, see. Gracias. Wow, that was way cheaper than I expected. £2. Great, we can sort the pew bush out now. Yeah, so I was sharing about my morning. So yeah, there was all this noise going on. And what I could really feel was just my body just being like, relax, relax. So I usually get up really early and, you know, try and find some sort of purpose in the day, which soon wanes once I've done all my YouTube stuff, and then it's just getting stoned and not doing much else. But yeah, I could feel like my mind being like, get up, get on YouTube, as in creating, and also coffee, cigarette. Now it is my men's group today, so that means I can't get stoned until what for me is 4 PM. So that might have had something to do with it, but I just felt this like deep surrender and this deep relaxation, and I sort of, whilst I could hear all the noise going on, it kind of stopped bothering me. I sort of went into this place again where I sort of merged with it. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of out of body, but not, I'm not saying anything super spiritual or magical or anything like that, just presence. Anyway, I ended up staying in bed till 10 o'clock and sort of going in and out of sleep / meditation, but it was just this really beautiful, relaxing, joyful process. And the reason I bring this up is one, because it's something to yammer about, but also I think it's important to acknowledge this shift that is occurring in my body, whilst I am also poisoning my body heavily with junk food every night. That's gotta stop. But there's something shifting since I left the UK. Like, I think it's this coming out of fight or flight or even thorn response. the deep depression that pretty much everyone is suffering from in the UK. And then the practical stuff like the effects of the sunshine, potential parasite cleanse from the sunshine to a degree. There needs to be more done on that. I have actually got a potion that I've been carrying around with me for 3 years. It's all natural and like wormwood and walnut seed oil, I think, and all the natural stuff that's meant to be parasitical, so anti-parasitical. So I think I'm going to start introducing that into my water. The whole ivermectin thing is so complicated. I don't know what to do about that. And then yeah, my ass has been, it's not been waterfall season, but it's certainly not been big log season either. It's like kind of been a mixture of the two, but it's been getting rid of a lot. And Kaz, who I'm speaking to, says that, you know, that's normal when you go to a country with sunshine because it starts the parasitic cleanse. So yes, that's all very interesting. Mr. Bicker has been going crazy in the comments. Do you think, like, does it, my only concern, like, I'm pretty sure it's good, obviously it's good for the algorithms. There's a new Richard Bicker. I mean, it's probably the same guy. Like, these people go to such lengths and they make you their world because their world is so small. But since the new Richard Bicker has appeared, I mean, he's been commenting, like, responding to everyone's comments. My last 2 videos have got 2,000 more views. So I think we need to thank Mr. Bicker for that, for his input and his contribution. Thank you. And he's now going to pay for my sandwich because I reckon those extra views have probably earned me about $15. So thanks for the sandwich, Mr. Bicker. Very nice of you. There was another crazy comment, I think it was on this channel, that said, have you ever had a critical self-thought? I mean, it just shows. I kind of get how people project arrogance onto me. You know, if you're living such a small, people-pleasing, fearful, doing what the government says life, I can see why I would come across as arrogant. But it just baffles me, because what they're actually seeing is somebody who has lived his whole life in a critical thought of self, and then has delved into those thoughts, now understands the psychology behind them, and shares those from a very open, vulnerable place. It's actually the height of arrogance if you're unable to share anything. It's, you know, the height of self, the height of self-preservation. It's just completely retarded, but understandable because everyone's so conditioned and screwed up by this government and the society we live in. But yeah, it just amazes me that people are so far from being able to see reality that they will, I mean, I can only assume he's watched like 5 minutes of one of my videos, because to ask whether I've ever had a critical thought, when I share all my critical thoughts to you all, just amazing. Amazing, the stupidity of people. The projection. Oh, it's all very beepy, bloody hell. Welcome to Mexico, everyone. The other thing that's bringing up a bit of anxiety and stressing me is the 2,500 pesos, which is $150, £120, that the owner of the flat owes me. I've texted him about it. He was meant to give it me on Monday. It's now Thursday. He hasn't responded to my text, so I'm going to go to Gloria about it. I can't believe that Gloria will allow it. I feel like this guy's trying to shirk me. I just don't think Gloria will have it. Like, her energy is so good and honest. I felt like his was too, to be honest, but not to Gloria levels. That she's such an authentic, alive, beautiful being. So yeah, I'm going to try and get that today. Oh, and I can also confirm, not that any of you are questioning it, because none of you are as stupid as me, but it is 34 pesos, not $34 from the cash machine. So the whole thing I did with the landlord actually just cost me an extra 20 bucks. And maybe another 150 if he steals it from me. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how you try and save these pennies and end up... I mean, that's the story of my life. Trying to save pennies and then just wasting fortunes. Rather hilarious. I did go into this sort of realization last night as well with, you know, the potential of what I could produce, the potential of what could be coming in my future. Like this this loss I screw over in Thailand, yeah, I could make that money back in 6 months potentially, in a year or two's time. That's if I was earning $1,000 a day, which might sound ridiculous, but I can see it. I can really see it happening through facilitation, men's work, YouTube, all of it. Like, there's so many avenues to go down. Merchandise. Amazing how your confidence grows as you do this. I mean, it's obvious, but you know, the idea of selling merchandise, I was just like, who would ever buy my merchandise? But then after, you know, all the donations and seeing the support, you realise like, oh, okay, it could actually be a really good thing to give to the people rather than just asking for money. Some feedback on that in the comments would be great. Would you be interested in it? And also ideas. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. Also, I need a logo. If there's any graphic designer that wants to donate a logo to the channel, that would be amazing. Or any of my channels, or maybe all 3 of my channels. Oh, the haters are gonna be like screwing now. Ah, people helping him, people supporting him. Ah, I can't compute it. I've never done anything good for anyone in my life. And also drop in the comments like slogans for hoodies or caps or mugs or whatever. Like, I'm a pleb and proud, or enrichers, I don't know, I'm not very good at this stuff. But some of my key phrases, what you would want to see on a hoodie, as we take in more Mexican roadworks. So the savvy amongst you will realise we're on our way to pork sandwich destination, where Mr. Bicker is kindly gonna buy us a sandwich. Thank you, Richard. Try not to retardate your son anymore, poor little thing. I dread to think how many jabs Mr. Bicker's son had. That poor kid. Ah man, no wonder he hates himself so much. I mean, it'll be in his subconscious, but he knows. He knows his kid isn't gonna make it to adulthood now. And he knows that he's responsible for it. But rather than accept that responsibility, he'd rather get angry with the guy that speaks the truth and shows him the mirror. Hiya! Ah well mate, I'll just be eating a pork sandwich on you, while you watch your kids suffer from your stupidity. And it's more than stupidity, your absolute reluctance to accept that all of your reality is a lie. So instead, you've just offed your son. Nice one, mate! Oh yeah, Pokeo Sanyo. Uno? Sandwich, gracias. Oops. Sorry guys, that was poor camera work. Thank you, Mr. Bicker, so kind. So this guy's just come and sat down, and as he walks in, is that guacamole under my eye? You know you're in Mexico and you got guacamole under your eye. Walks in and he's just like, hola. And it's just so standard out here, you know. People say hello to each other, people smile at each other, people acknowledge each other. It's crazy. Having lived in England where everyone is just head down, don't talk to me. It's such a shift. It's beautiful. I think this is the most Mexican of Mexican trucks we've seen so far. Clearly still going strong. Love it. Yeah, so feedback in the comments please from the, you know, our people around the retards. Is it worth keeping them? Is it funny? Do you like me ripping on them? Would you prefer me to block them and just concentrate on Mexico? But the videos will be a lot shorter, because it is mainly what I talk about now. Also, does it put you off from commenting? Like, are you like, oh, I don't want to comment because I know that token fatiguer will say something stupid, or Richard Bicker will come and have a bicker at me? What I really don't want is to, you know, lose authentic, real comments over retarded, projecting comments. So yes, all that feedback would be nice. Ooh, more police, yeah. Token fatiguer, I'm sure regular commenters will know who I mean. We have one token fatiguer in the comments. He's just such an idiot. I mean, he's really showing off that 70 IQ. So somebody put, you've inspired me, I love your adventure, I'm going to leave the UK. And he put, what adventure? Walking around Mexico getting stoned. I mean, first there's a projection onto getting stoned. I think people who project so heavily onto that have only experienced alcohol. And therefore it's their only perception of a mind-altering substance. So obviously coming from that level of low experience, they can only project bad stuff onto it, because alcohol is only bad. I mean, it's got, you know, it helps you socialize, that's the one positive you could say, but it brings nothing spiritually, and it brings nothing to the body. So they project that experience onto all substances and just assume that it's all about hedonism, and there's nothing enlightening or mind expanding about any other substance, which is obviously completely retarded. I mean, to not even be able to see the element of adventure to this, like, okay, you think I'm a dickhead, project all you want onto it, but like, I mean, clearly compared to the average life in the UK, this is quite an adventure. And to not even be able to acknowledge that just shows the level of hatred and projection in these people. And the 70 IQ of the fatiguers, of course. You enjoying it, token? Nice to have a little token with us. Remember that? Remember the days where there used to be the token fatiguer? And now it's like the token white guy. We'll all remember Token from South Park. That expressed this in such a funny manner. But yeah, it's totally switched, hasn't it? Where the fatiguers are just the majority now, even in countries that were built by white people. Yeah, very strange. So now it's the token white guy. But in my comments, we've still got the token fatiguer. This for an all-purpose, once motorhome, now business wagon truck. Fantastic! Making the delivery. And there was another retard who was like, I don't think you asked that restaurant worker if you could film them. You should always ask first. How do you think I produce authentic, interesting content, other than obviously me just ranting authentically? But I mean, the stuff in the moment. Do you honestly think? I mean, one, I can't speak the language, so that's a bit of a barrier. But do you honestly think if I went around before every clip going, excuse me, Mr. Man on a bike, may I film you? Do you think we'd get the same results? Do you think we'd get the same authenticity? Do you think we'd get the same spontaneity that everyone loves? No. Once again, you're judging, projecting from your retarded experience, which is, yes sir, no sir, can I go to the toilet please sir? Hello boss, will you pay me? If I sacrifice my life to you 5 days a week, will you give me some shekels? This is the mentality you're coming from. It's retarded, it's conditioned. I've broken out of that. Just try and accept it. And try and be happy for someone else. Try and be happy for someone who has done 10 years self-work and has broken out of the box, the matrix, the constraints. Or if you can't be happy, try not to just project from a retarded point of view all over it. Genuinely wanting some feedback on... It's the difficult one because all the retards are just going to be like, I feel important now. No, obviously not you. But okay, so anyone who didn't fail the 2021 intelligence test, that's a good way of cutting the wheat from the chaff. Please comment about whether I'm ranting about you retards. It's a bit too much, but I don't really know what I'd do for the next 5 days because there's only so much of Lake Bacalar I can show you. We've already seen it all. And it's actually what I enjoy the most, to be honest, just having a good rant. Now, there is a caveat to that. There are a few people who were very bravely, and I have ultimate respect for these people, who have written in the comments, yes, I did fail the test, but I can now see I failed the test and I'm taking responsibility for that. You can comment. You're very welcome. I think that says so much about a person. Massive thing to acknowledge, particularly the own stupidity part, but also the fact that your government are trying to offer you, it's a really big thing to get your head around. So yeah. You're totally in the club. Ultimate respect for anyone who has seen the error of their ways, and particularly if they can admit that and speak into that. Nice one. Oh my goodness, why is this guy only ever here when we've already eaten? Oh, we'll try and come back later. Smells so good. Oh yeah, I definitely want to have that later on. But then I won't be able to find him, or he'll be closed if I do find him. Keeping an eye out for that skinny dog whenever I walk around here. I know it was around here that I saw him, and I would definitely like to get him a few meals. I mean, I'd quite like to make a bond with him and smuggle him into my flat and feed him up for the next 7 days. But yeah, we'll see. Let's just try and get him a meal first of all. And the other retarded thing that's coming up a lot in the comments again, which again I can kind of see, all perspectives have a kernel of truth in them. This is why people are able to hold on to them, even if it's 90% bullshit. But the other one I'm getting a lot of is, oh my goodness, you're so rude, you're not learning the language, you're speaking to the locals so rudely. Well, I certainly don't think the locals feel like that. I feel like, I mean, obviously there's the moments where I take the piss out of people. Well, that's just between you and me. But in terms of my general interaction, I feel like the locals love me. I feel like they pick up on my energy. And we have a lot of smiles and good vibes. And also, it's just that projection. Like, that's what you would do when you come on your 2-week holiday. You value learning the language, and that's great. I'm not knocking that. I'm all for it. But I don't really value it. It's not like, of course, if I'm going to live in this place long term, or this part of the world long term, of course, ideally, I'll pick up the language. But I can get by just fine, as you're seeing. I have more important things to focus on, like building a YouTube empire and shadow work and hosting my men's group and facilitating other people's journeys into shadow work. Far, far more important. I would say meditating is more important. So yeah, it's really not a big priority for me. And just because it is for you, doesn't mean it needs to be for me. And whilst I acknowledge that it would be really cool to have conversations with the locals, also I'm not interested in people. Again, you're projecting your need for others onto me. I don't need others. And whilst yes, there would be elements of coolness to it, I'm not going to have a deep conversation with anyone here. There's a lot of police activity going on. There's all these ones with big guns over there. Oh gosh, there's loads. There's something about to kick off. That one's an army ambulance. But yeah, Hummer. It's very strange, isn't it? We should be going to the Star Fort today, weather permitting, but we definitely will go thanks to, I think it was Neil who donated for that. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. What is going on? Whoa, there's 3 trucks here. This is crazy. Well, this guy just sells tours. It's like, whew. Are we living in war or are we going on tours? I'm not sure. There's a beep, beep, beep. Wow. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost for words at this. I'm not sure if it's safe to film it, but we'll give it a go. Hopefully I won't get popped in the head. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not really interested. Yeah, so I'm only interested in speaking to people who are past getting offended, who are past the ego, who are past like, oh, you said this and it hurt me. I'm only interested in people who are doing shadow work. Now, I don't think many of these people are going to be doing shadow work. So what on earth am I going to talk to them about? Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Lake Bacalar. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from England, a town called Sheffield. Manchester? No, Sheffield. It's near Manchester, though. You know, I'm not interested. So yes, we will slowly pick up little words and we'll slowly start communicating a bit more. But it's not a high priority for me. My ego doesn't need it. Unlike you, where you're like, oh, I managed to learn this and this and this, and oh, look at me, aren't I fantastic, and oh, I'm so respectful and I'm such a good citizen. Now I'm going to go back to my office and get jabbed up and watch the BBC. Retard! It is so funny when you get into where you're from in any country. Because it's basically, the first one is, oh, London, then, oh, Manchester, and then that's it. There's nowhere else. And then we'll talk about football. That's pretty much what happens. So yes, not really that interested. Ooh, fat pugs. Great. Wow, so I've just finished a men's group and I'm just checking in back in with the retardation of a nation. You know, all I see in the comments is a reflection of the collective consciousness. You know, I don't see individuals. That's all meaningless to me. And there's this Sarah Richardson. Wow, what a pleb. So somebody, Wickham Way is an amazing person, has just, you know, left a lovely comment about online bullying and keyboard warriors, basically. And then Sarah's like, that's terrible! Tom's disdain and contempt for other people doesn't disturb you? Question mark. Plebs, retard, normies, etc., spazzers, haters, etc. Ah! You approve of him heckling? But the suggestions just goes on for more retarded nonsense. Okay, so let me try and explain. And I know you won't be able to understand because all you are is a ball of hatred and projection and you're completely inauthentic and you're living in a world of lies. Therefore, that's why you have to project. I don't have disdain for anybody. I have disdain for inauthenticity and lies. If you want to argue about whether we're spinning on a globe or whether this was a good idea or whether democracy exists, this isn't the channel for you. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around and dilute my powerful energy and what I am here to provide for people like you who are still just living in a world of lies. I have complete disdain for lies. I have complete disdain for inauthenticity and the way that most people live their lives being lied to and accepting lies, accepting convenient lies over realizing inconvenient truths. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the 10% that are awake, that are ready to do the work, and that are ready to, create their own life. If you want to watch and hopefully learn something or even project, that's fine. But don't expect me to change for a pleb like you. Don't expect me to pussyfoot around your cognitive dissonance, your lies, your inauthenticity. You can't handle authenticity, and you can't handle truth. And that's why you project onto me, but it's not my problem. I'm done with being small for retards. Yeah? Can you just kind of understand that perspective a little bit? I know you can't. I know this is pointless. But I'm here to serve people who are ready to be authentic. And these people, they realize that it's not even about the individual. I'm not judging an individual. You don't even exist. You're just a shard of consciousness playing out in an unconscious way, just as is meant to happen, just as consciousness is escaping from itself. But you'll never understand any of that. So let's try and keep it a little bit more basic. But you won't understand any of that either. Just know that you're projecting from your inauthentic play. Like if can you appreciate that I have no respect for anybody who still buys into the system? Even if you think that buying into the system is worthwhile, can you appreciate that I don't? And I'm not here to speak to people that are buying into the system. I'm here to speak to people who are breaking out of a matrix and discovering that they're an electrical impulse floating through infinity and none of this really matters and we can laugh at it all. And if you get offended by, I'm so offended, he used the word pleb, well then maybe you're a pleb. Maybe you're a pleb that still lives in the ego and is getting offended because of your inauthenticity. You're offended because you can't hear truth. You're offended because you can't analyze yourself. You can't be the observer of self, so therefore you have to make it into this offense to try and shut it down. Just chill out, take a breath, realize there's a pleb and there's got a lot to learn, and be grateful for somebody fucking showing you the truth. Or do one. Either or. Whatever he wants. It's fine.
Let's try and get a little bit of travel in, seeing as I am classing it as a travel channel still. But it's very much just a retard ranting travel now. Anyway, the rain is slowly stopping, so we may get to a star fort today. First I'm going to have my first joint of the day. It's very much deserved. And then we'll try and get to a star fort. How does that sound? Not you, Sarah, you're not coming. Oh, you can come, Sarah, it's fine. All of you is welcome. All of your gold, which there is very little of. All of your shadow, which there's loads of. It's all welcome. I understand. I've been there. I've been a conditioned player. I've been the projector. I've been the hater. This is why I can speak into all the different perspectives, because I've been a retard too. I actually have compassion for it. But I am not going to pussyfoot around it. There's too much of that in the world. Like everything is dedicated to you being a pleb. The schooling system, the medical system, the TV, like there's so much pleb content you can engage with. Just try not to shit all over the one channel that is not here for plebs. The one channel that is... Can you appreciate that there are people of a higher consciousness than you? Can you even appreciate that? Or a higher intelligence, that might be a word you understand a bit more. Can you even appreciate that? Or do you think you're the pinnacle? And do you think that everything should be geared to you? Or do you think it's okay for one YouTube channel to be geared to the 10% that are more enlightened than you? Do you think that's okay? And if you can't cope with it, do you think you should just F off? Maybe. Come to the star fort with us, do whatever he wants, but just realise that I'm not here for you and I'm not going to change because of you. The great irony in all that is I am actually here for you. Like, this is a great service. I am here shaking your conditioning. Your soul is like, please listen to Tom. And then your ego is like, no, I can't, because I realise I'm a twat and everything I've told myself is a lie. This is actually a great service. I know you can't see it. I know you just get triggered because you don't even understand the concept of enlightenment, of becoming the self-observer, of healing. You don't even see, you still believe the government. Like, of course, you can't even comprehend this stuff. But just know that I'm here serving you. Yes, even you, Sarah. Even a retard like you is getting served on this channel. How loving am I? See, that's the truth. This is actually great service and great love. I actually have deep compassion and love for humanity, hence doing what I'm doing and earning some shekels for myself at the same time. Of course, that's part of it too. But actually, to get to the point where you can live like this, so purposefully and with such adventure and with such risk-taking, and create something like this, your own existence and earnings on YouTube, is because you've let go of all the shit, and it's actually because you're in service to humanity. The external reflects your internal. My external is reflecting the service that I give to you. Project all over that one now. It's approaching 7 PM. It's just stopped raining. I've been doing my men's group, but then it's also been raining. So yeah, not much today in terms of content. And yeah, we have got a power cut. You can see it's all dark in there. It all just went out in my flat. So I thought now was a good time to come for a little one. Oh, power's just come back on. Did you see all the lights come back on there? So that was a short power cut. Good. Obviously there's questions coming up around I suppose what I want this channel to be. So when I set out, it was meant to be a really tame channel about travelling, basically with the intentions of making money. But as I often find when I do anything, making money isn't enough of a motivator. Like, it is a big motivator, but it's not enough. Like, I have to be feeling some sort of purpose. So obviously it's not just travelling, it's speaking what I see as the truth, which of course could be wrong. It's just a man's opinion, and this happens to be that man's YouTube channel. Yeah, and then the haters start, and obviously that's really ramped up over the last few videos. And it's very hard not to respond, and I have a lot of fun responding. I think it makes the videos pretty funny for my kind of people. I think it's good for the channel in terms of, you know, the comments have exploded on the last 3 videos, like way more than any of the others have got. But is it what I want? Is it what I'm here to do? Like, I do have a great belief in, like, holding up that mirror and, you know, just keeping on shining and being authentic, keeping in the face of projection and hatred. I think it's powerful, I think it's inspiring, I think it helps others to do the same, because ultimately that is how we'll change the world. You know, this notion of being nice, in a world that's completely insane and everyone's conditioned and enslaved, being nice isn't being nice. You know, I could be, what, so would it be nice if I didn't point out that people have poisoned themselves, that people had fallen for something really sinister? Would that be nice to not speak about it? Or is it nice to tell people the truth so they've got a chance of detoxing and making the changes needed so that they don't fall for the next big scam? Yeah, this is a problem. So you have people who live in a world of lies, who think lying is nice, who think not being authentic is nice, not saying what you think and valuing whether it's going to offend the other more than whether it's true or not is nice. But I don't think that is nice. I think that's really weak, really pathetic, and very detrimental to others. So I think what's been nice is truthful, but unfortunately we live in an insane society where everything's a lie, so the truth doesn't feel very nice for many people. It's a difficult one. What I think I am ready to maybe start detaching from a bit, I don't know, because I think it's funny and good for the channel, but is responding. You know, like, I don't, the thing is, like, they hold you to standards that they can't hold themselves. So they're like, you're judging people, whilst calling you the most vile names under the sun, whilst completely judging me. You know, like, it's just a never, with these people who can't take any accountability or don't have any self-reflection, aren't interested in owning anything. They just want to stay in the projection they live in, and they just want to reinforce that projection, otherwise their whole world will crumble. You know, there is no point other than using them. other than using them for engagement, other than using them to grow the channel. Which maybe that's worthwhile. Using them for content, yeah, maybe that is worthwhile. But it isn't really the channel I want. I don't think. I don't really know. I don't really care. I mean, ultimately, as long as I'm being authentic and speaking the truth and making money, the job's a good one. You know, ultimately, as much as I care about purpose and being aligned, and ultimately that is always where I'm moving to. I need to survive, and you know, I'll do what I have to do in that regard without totally sacrificing truth or authenticity. But if I have to engage with plebs, and if I have to play the game, the hatred game, then I'll play that game, you know, whatever. I just want a successful YouTube channel where I'm honest, where I'm real, where I'm authentic. The rest is kind of dictated by you guys, by the engagement, by the comments. It's like Not Today Satan started off as a channel just sharing my life. And then I spoke about a few external factors, and that was, you know, what got the views. So that's the line it went down, you know. It's like the universe shows what consciousness requires and is ready for through you guys, because you guys are consciousness. A collective consciousness, and my god, it's not looking good. In some ways it's looking very good. It's amazing, isn't it, the complete split, and there's just no one in the middle anymore. Wherever you look, whether it's politics or anything, there's no one in the middle. And of course that's all part of the agenda, divide and conquer. What do you do? I don't know, I just don't know. But I'm just going to keep filming myself walking around, and I'm just going to keep sharing what I think and feel, because I really don't think enough people are doing that. And you know, even libtards should be doing that. You know, we just don't have to watch them. But the libtards seem to want to watch me. Very interesting. We seem to be walking towards Burger Place. Are we doing burgers again? So I managed to walk past Burger Place. I'm not sure why, because it's awesome. I just feel like we've gone there too much, and it's been a very slow content day, so maybe I should take you to a new restaurant. This looks really nice, but it's just going to be a mosquito fest with all those plants and no fans, so I think we'll try and find something a bit more Mexican and barbecue chicken based, as we're always searching for the barbecue chicken. I haven't had any yet since being in Lake Bacalar. Also, what's weird is this expectation for a YouTuber to be perfect. Like, if they see a single contradiction or flaw in what is ultimately a very flawed human, just like we all are, on YouTube, putting it out there for everyone to see and judge, they're like, you see? And then they just get so vicious with it, as if they're like a perfect person themselves. But I think in their world, like, being a perfect person is, I don't know, wearing a mask or following the law or some retarded pleb shit like that. So, you know, it's like, it goes back to that split, doesn't it? Just like a totally different value system. You know, they value conformity and not thinking, and I value the absolute opposite of that. So where do you even go with it? You know, how do you find any common ground? Well, you can't. So you either just ignore them or rip the piss out of them. I think I'll move more towards ignoring once I've got the piss ripping stage out of my system. Oh, guess where we are? It's too wet, I'm too tired, I'm too exhausted to be searching around. I did a circle of a block, music. Did a circle of a block in my slippy crocs, and I was just like, what am I doing? When there's a good Mexican burger right opposite my flat. So here we are. Cheers, our favourite. Buenos dias. Hola. Love you. I think the last thing worth noting on this subject is I've never had to deal with this before. Like, obviously I've had haters, but you know, Not Today Satan was very clearly a conspiracy channel, so you know, you get plebs on there. Well, you don't really, actually. You know, I've had them, but it's very rare. It's just, I think Richard Bicker perks up every now and again, but it's very rare. Like, people just don't touch it because they can see that, you know, it's a wild conspiracy theorist. And then I've got the spiritual channel, which obviously plebs don't even go near. They haven't even had their first awakening yet, which is awakening to the fact that everything's a lie and the government aren't your friend. So obviously they're not interested in spirituality. And then I've done a travel channel, which the plebs just love. They love watching other people travel. Something they can just stare at normally. So what they're used to is somebody just being like, "Hi guys, look at this. Oh, and today we're going here," and being absolutely non-controversial and totally selling themselves just to get views. So they click on mine like, "Oh, this might be a nice new travel channel. I wonder what he'll show us." And then I'm just like, "You've killed yourself, wah!" And obviously that's quite jarring for them. It's not what they clicked on it for. So yeah, it's realising that I'm dealing with a whole new level. And what showed me that was somebody said, "It's all well and good telling us we've killed ourselves, but why would the government want to do that?" And I was just like, oh, this is the level we're dealing with. Like, people who haven't even questioned that the government might not be humanitarian, that the people with power might want to get all the resources for themselves, just like every person with power has throughout the whole of history until we got sold this lie of democracy. I mean, do you honestly think they ever gave up power? Like, I mean, I would say for that pleb and for anyone else who asked that question, watch the Jones Plantation. You know, it's a very easy watch and it's very obvious. You know, you can't watch that and, well, maybe you can, I mean, who knows. But yeah, I've never had to deal with this level of plebbery before, with this level of cognitive dissonance. And yeah, obviously it's because it's a travel channel. So then I thought, well, I'll just go for it, rip the shit out of them, and that will get rid of them all. Like Not Today Satan. But it just seems to be getting more of them. So I don't know, maybe we'll carry on for a bit longer just ripping them and see how long they can last. But yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. It's an interesting social experiment, which is all one can really do. So let's keep experimenting with the plebs and see what happens. I think this is going to be a good buy. If it's not a pleb, please make sure you've liked, subscribed, commented and maybe even shared. And I'll see you all tomorrow. That's a look. I can't stand it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's louder than ever. The smoke shop across the road. I'm actually tempted to go and say something, but it's just the way it is in Mexico, you know, you just have to accept it. Oh my god. I'm going to ask if I can move into that other apartment tomorrow behind. So I just don't think I could do another week of this. I get to the point where you just gotta laugh. So the shop closed a couple of hours ago. I've had a couple of hours of relative peace with me. The road is noisy and there's always cars going by playing music, but they're going by. And I think I'm just about getting to a point where I'm drifting off, and then they pull up and they're just blasting music out in the street. I don't know, it's gotta be way past 11, I don't know what time it is. It just is what it is, isn't it? It's just Mexico. It's like another half, it's like 12 o'clock now, and they've just parked. I just can't believe it. Like, I mean, I'm pissed off, but like, I'm also just in such shock, but it's almost funny that, yeah, like, it's almost like just realising, yeah, like the beauty of English culture, I guess, and, you know, but it is a thing, because, you know, being respectful and civil and telling people off if they were to do this in England, you know, like, that's a really nice culture. I miss it. Anyway, it's, you know, not going to be around much longer, but yeah, just how normal it is to do something like this out here, and just the fact that no one says anything. Like, there's grannies living next door. Like, what are they doing? Like, how can we think it's acceptable? They're grown men as well. They're not like, I mean, I didn't have a right good look, but he looked about 30 to me, and it's just, I just can't even get my head around it. It's just madness.